Hi, my name is Rafael D'Andrea and today I'll be presenting Fast Forward Brands. How to jumpstart brands in emerging markets with low or no additional budget. This presentation was given in Auckland, New Zealand in April 2015 to an audience of companies intending to expand internationally, especially focused in the Latin American and Brazilian market. First, a little bit of introduction. I, um, I've been a consultant for international companies for 12 years now, 5 years already since I started advising international companies expanding into Brazil and Latin America. I've written 5 books in trade and shopper marketing for the Brazilian market, and some of them were translated into Spanish and English. I studied business administration, economics, marketing, and now organization development at INSEAD Singapore. So why use marketing as a tool to improve your chances of success internationally? Well, let's start with an example. Take Australia and New Zealand, for instance. If these countries intend to ship their products to Europe or Latin America, they will have to um, spend a lot of money in distribution. As a matter of fact, distribution costs will represent a large chunk of the consumer price of their products in the end. So, to have the ability to change a product price perception is key for these countries to obtain success in international trading. And how do you achieve that? You do that by using good marketing tools. Now, let's discuss the main challenges in international expansion before we move on to a strategic approach. Now, fewer for thoughts. What countries have you already expanded to? And what were the reasons behind choosing those countries? You know, the second question I would ask brand manufacturers, how did you do it? How did you expand to different countries? Did you use collaboration with local partners? Uh, did you just export your products? Or you decided to manufacture your stuff for assembly, assemble them locally? Did you license your brands? And again, what were the lessons learned? Try to so are these reasons somehow a repetition of your traditional way of doing things? You know, we are influenced by our past experiences. We learn from them and we tend to repeat the ones that are successful systematically. So, now, what countries are you planning to expand to? And try to answer why. You know that international marketing is a different kind of marketing, right? Even if you have a very successful marketing strategy in your home country, it doesn't mean that your international marketing strategy should follow your home country's approach. So speaking of marketing orientation, in traditional marketing, we understand the market needs and develop a product to meet those needs. But in international marketing, you have to find a market to an existing product. You have to find the need within the countries that you're planning to expand to. So what are the common marketing tools that we use in our home country in comparison with the international marketing tools? This is called, what you see in this slide is called Ansoff matrix, and I added the tools on the bottom of it about where I talk about sales promotion, advertising, education, and so on. I also talk about two important things that are channel and shopper marketing. In international marketing, the most important drive is channel marketing instead of product development. You may want to increase the adoption of retailers and wholesalers and also influence your shoppers to change their minds while shopping. So it's about creating a connection that can be translated as a win-win equation to your channel members. So this chart gives you an idea of how tricky developing markets can be. Those numbers are from Brazil. Every year, 14,000 SKUs are launched in the country. 85% won't last a year on the shelves. Brazil alone has 2,000 brands of crackers and cookies, 65 brands of energetic drinks, 300 yogurt manufacturers, and no company reaching all cities except the post office. While great products have failed in Brazil in the past, like Oreo, Milka, Kit Kat, KFC, Pizza Hut, Domino's, 7-Eleven, and the list goes on and on. So, with that in mind, let's try to focus on our next step. So, what have we learned from previous Latin American experiences? Well, a successful business attitude is composed of some items, and I try to enumerate them here. First is having a clear target market and the right product portfolio strategy. Also, having the right marketing materials in local language is key. But trying to develop a supportive relationship style with your local partners is even more important. Another thing that is key, is crucial for your success, is having a physical local presence, or at least a very close monitoring. By close, I mean monthly. Understanding the rules of engagement of your agents. They may vary a lot from the operational model of your agents in different countries may vary a lot and be very different from the ones in your home country. Try to understand the rules. Then adapt your business style to the new culture. Seek for legal support, especially in labeling, taxes, patents, and contracts, so that you don't get in trouble later. Understand your business potential and scale of investment. So here's a list of underachieving business attitudes, especially for South America. If you want to check them all, I'll give you some time, or you can just pause the screen and check them out. So we also learn from our mistakes. In this slide, I divided the marketing pitfalls in two blocks with the assumption that it is easier to influence your decision makers in your company to make better marketing decisions than it is to influence them to spend more money, to invest more money in the expansion. So my understanding is that when presented with good marketing plan and excellent products, the decision makers in your company will always bring resources to the table. No? A good marketing plan doesn't cost more than a poor one and makes a huge difference in your career and in the success of your international ventures. So, let's take Havaianas, for instance. Havaianas is a very famous brand of Brazilian flip flops that is present in 200,000 points of sales all across the globe, actually in 90 countries. And they sell 210 million pairs of shoes a year. Um, any Chinese manufacturer could make a better, cheaper product, but Havaianas took a commodity product to a next level using marketing. Analysts say that it's percentually more profitable than Nike. So I call the Havaianas case a very successful case of using CSC, consumer shopping channel marketing strategies. They took a commodity product and transformed it into a fashion item. Um, in terms of shopper marketing, branded flagship stores and franchising stores with standard um, ex- uh, environment provided the right brand environment, brand atmosphere, and experience ultimately to the brand, to Havaianas. In terms of channel marketing, their distributors benefit from their marketing investment, but also have to meet goals. They have a very tight control of their channels and channel execution. So, having that in mind, my purpose is to accelerate the development of effective international marketing capabilities in your companies. So, we should think about using the collective knowledge that we have acquired along the years to find the best solutions from within. So I call this the fast forward approach. It's to fast forward your brand, you should expand from your learning curve from previous experiences. So first of all, avoid common marketing pitfalls. Try to share your best practices and mitigate risks. Explore synergies, collaboration, and levers. Try to standardize basic marketing planning and follow through with the execution. So, what I do is quite simple. It's a 1, 2, 3 steps framework. And of course, there's a checklist for every step that I use to assess the level of each company in every phase, and of course, predict their success in international expansion. So the first step is reality check. It's basically data gathering, analysis, and planning. The second step is what I call CSC. It's marketing planning. Channel, shopper, and consumer. What are your goals and how to achieve those goals? And third step is decision making, legal, physical, and technical presence that you should provide to in order to enter a new market. So here's a list of data that you should gather, information that you can work with in your marketing plan. So if you pause the screen, you can check them all. It's pretty basic, and I encourage you. Yes, I know it's extensive, it's a large list, but I can assure you that if you can take your time and answer some of these questions in the step 2 CSC, the channel, shopper, and consumer strategy, you will be in the right path to have a good plan um, and enter any global market. Of course, the same goes on with the shopper checklist. Who is your shopper? What do they do? When? How? Where? And how much do they purchase of your products or or your competitors' products? So try to check those questions. Of course, there's a reason why I started with channel, then shoppers, and now we're gonna discuss consumers. And it's different from your local marketing strategy. When you're expanding internationally, you should check your channel first. Develop your channel strategy first, then your shopper marketing strategy, and finally your consumer strategy. That's why I put consumers uh, uh, later in our checklist. Because if you don't have the proper channels, there's no way to access those consumers, and so there's no point in trying to expand to a particular market. Finally, let's talk about decision making. The typical dilemmas that we face in international expansion are make it or hire others to do it, having or not having physical presence, what kind of virtual presence is our brand going to have in that particular country? Websites, contact centers, social medias, and so on. Legal presence, technical assistance and customer service, level of investments and expected return, success criteria. What is the meaning of success when you expand to a different country? And of course, kickoff pre-work. What should we do before entering a new market? So this is the checklist for decision making. You should be able to, by now, to answer uh, or have a good answer to most of those questions. So, finally, how to hold everyone accountable for each step in your company. So, we should never forget the organizational dimension of this kind of endeavor. Um, so, this process should be fair, it should be engaging. So I used as an example the same process for decision making that is used in ER rooms and at most of the SWAT teams, uh, elite police teams in the world. So you can see steps framing the issues, exploring options, and aligning expectations. They pretty much guarantee that whatever you're going to do abroad in your international expansion is something that is aligned internally and has some sort of consensus, and increases significantly your chances of success. So, as a final thought, do you think that only one strategy will win all battles? Probably not. I think was Warren Buffett's partner that said once that to the man with only a hammer, every problem looks like a nail. In this case, what would a nail be? Probably price. Price is the single most dangerous threat to our brand value, but this the most used sales strategy as well. So we need to move away from the one hammer view of the world. I mean, we need to assure that we're using a diverse and creative marketing strategy to solve a complex global puzzle. So, the important thing is to keep an open mind and see new opportunities and ways of doing things, and never stop trying to adapt to local realities. With that in mind, I conclude my presentation. Thank you very much. Try to keep contact and use my email for further inquiries. Thank you very much.